there's three main sites that you're really going to want to hold on to. HQ being the first. That's where you find all of your information about carriers, your stats as far as what applications you've written. It's where you go to get resources and training, where you can submit support tickets for different things. So the big one for you guys is this carriers and resources. That carrier resources button there is going to have every carrier that you'll be contracted with, and each info page is going to have links, phone numbers, details about all of the carriers. I know for some of you who haven't done your own applications before, this is going to be where you go to find out the link to submit the application. So you'd go to each carrier and it'll have an e-app link for each one of those. So that'll be important for you guys to know where to find those e-apps, because they're all a little bit different. Foresters, you go to foresters.com. America is a little different. It's sc.americo.com. American Amicable is completely different. It's insuranceapplication.com. So instead of having to remember all of those, just simply come to this carriers and resources page and click on the specific carrier that you're wanting to write business with. I would not go to the e-apps button. I would go to the carrier resources and then the carrier, because if you go to the e-apps button, it does take you to the e-app a little bit differently. And we discovered with another agent that it didn't allow you to put in your writing number quite the same. So the safest way that I found is through that page there. Okay. That makes sense on that. Okay. Training here, everybody needs to do the navigator training, because if you don't, you will be getting SBLI and legal in general. Navigator is the training you'll need to do to be able to quote legal in general. There are about 4 or 5 different places you'll need to go for underwriting. For legal in general and SBLI, the easiest, quickest way is through Navigator. And that's going to be up here, these 9 buttons here. Click on Navigator. It'll take you to a page where you're going to input the client's information. And I don't know why I did that. Hold on. I've never seen that before, so it's good that we're doing this. Maybe you will have the same thing. Anybody else seen that before? Okay, must be a new authentication. Okay.
No, I
Okay.
didn't. I just tried it today.
Okay. So this is where you're going to go. You can go into quotes, and you can decide if you're going to do the term. This is for SBLI and legal in general. American Amicable does have a proprietary final expense product just for us. It is for healthier seniors. So that is going to be a cheaper price than what you'll find most anywhere else. So that's where you're going to go for that underwriting. Okay. Again, you've got to go to training and navigator training. Complete that. Takes about, I think, 10 or 15 minutes. And it'll open up navigator. Eventually, all of symmetry and quality underwriting is going to happen through navigator. This is just the first iteration. There, it will improve, add more carriers and more products over time. Okay. Quality U, this is where you go to get some more training about other products, IULs, annuities, DFL. But that's where all of that training is housed. Okay. Resources has, like it says, just some resources there. The other is support. So Symmetry Quality works off of a ticketing support system. You can request any support ticket or submit any support ticket that you want, except for contracting. The agency owner has to do that. And they do that just to limit the questions, because that's such a huge department. But you can go to any of these. If you click on, let's say, leads, it's going to have some questions that you can find quick answers for. It may have some links to the side, or at the bottom, if you don't find it, you can click submit a support ticket. You'll not run into this very often, but you will from time to time. Sometimes when you put your application in opt, you might have put in a wrong number, and you can't go into opt to change it. You have to come into here under new business, and it tells you how you can change. How do you update the annual premium or face amount, and it's going to tell you here. So a lot of questions will be answered under support. Okay. Any questions on HQ? Dane asked, is Legal in General a proprietary product? Yes, it is. The Quality Level Term Plus is a proprietary product for us. Yeah, good question. It goes up to 2 million, and it goes up to 40 years, and it goes up to table 12. So it is a great product. Tawana, do you have a question?
Yes, is there any other carriers that's in the Navigator? Because when I went in there today and I did like a little sample, it had only, it pulled up like only the quality in what you just said, the general, and that's it.
Yeah, if you click on term, it's only going to pull up SBLI and Legal in General.
Okay.
Others will be added later, but not yet.
Okay.
So this is where I think everybody has an insurance toolkits login now. You all have an account. So this is where you're going to go to do the rest of pretty much the majority of your underwriting. So up here at the top, there's the final expense, which is whole life, and the term. So you'll go click on which type of product you're looking for, put in all the client's information, whether they use tobacco or not. And then these two sections here on the right-hand side, past health conditions or current health conditions or medications. All right. Once you enter all of that in and hit get quote, then it's going to tell you the carriers and what their prices would be. And you can change the length of the term for whatever you're looking for the age and the need of the client. Okay. If you go over to the right-hand side, you have a couple of options here you can hover over, tell you what the living benefits are. This red dot's going to give you a warning or a note to know that there might be a PHI phone interview, that you may need to put notes in there because a certain medication may flag something. So it's going to list all the available carriers. If a carrier is not available to approve that client based on the conditions, it's going to be grayed out and tell you why, that there's not a rate for that age, or taking a certain medication won't allow for that. It's going to give you a decline or a grayed out box saying that carrier will not approve this person. This isn't 100% foolproof, but it does help you a good bit know what carriers to start looking at. You can change your carriers that show up. You have to do it for final expense and for term, but you can customize carriers. And all the carriers you have, you're going to want to make them yellow. All the other carriers and products, you're going to want to turn off. You don't want to see them, so you can turn those off. If you have questions or need help with that, you can let me know. I can help you. Those are going to be your two main places you go for underwriting. There's a couple of others. Transamerica has their own, and then Mutual of Omaha for their IUL, it has their own as well as far as running illustrations. If you need help outside of these two, reach out to me or to Elisha or your upline, Sue, whoever that is, and they can help you. But HQ and Navigator and Insurance Toolkits are the two main places to start with your underwriting process. Then Opt is going to be the other. If you don't know where to find Opt, just Google SFG CRM. That's what it is. It's where all of your leads will be, where you put your application. So I know this is new for the Moten agency. When you write an application, this is where you're going to upload that application information. If they were a lead, they're going to be under leads. You'll just search for and find that lead. And then you're going to change the status of that lead. So let's say I wrote Jasmine a policy up here. I'm going to go over to her status, and I'm going to click on her status and change it to application taken. Once I do that, a box is going to come up. I just fill in all the red boxes, the required fields, and then upload the PDF of the application. Okay. That's going to help keep track of your business. You can earn promotions at Symmetry from 80 to 85 to 90, 95. One of our guys today that we highlighted, he moved from 80 to 85 and got a $1,700 bonus because he did well. He did 10,000 in a month, and he got promoted from 80 to 85%, and he got $1,700 bonus on top of what he got paid for writing the business. You won't get those if your business is not submitted into opt. This is the only way to track it. And I can't say that strongly enough. I'm not a real heavy-handed type person, but I can't say it strongly enough. If you don't put your business in opt, you won't be up for commission increases or slingshot bonuses or promotion of levels of leadership. If you don't know how to put one in opt, it's perfectly fine. I can show you how. But again, one of the pages that you are saving is our team site, ross.agency. If you go to training, at the very bottom, there's a video a link that has a step-by-step process of what information to put into opt to upload your application information. Okay. So if you're not sure, go to my team site, go to training, click on the opt link. But again, always reach out and I can help answer any questions about that for you. Okay. Once you write an application, that person moves to clients. So they're going to move from leads to clients. And then you can keep track of your clients here. This is one little trick that you need to know. If you write, let's say Teresa, or actually let's go to Latrice, because I wrote 2 applications for her, one for her and one for her daughter. When I write the first one, Latrice is going to come here as a client. I'm going to click on her name. Down here is a bottom section. I'm going to click on applications taken. To upload her daughter's, I'm going to go here and click on new. So that way, all of her family and friends, all her applications are going to stay under that one lead. You don't want them to be 10 separate leads. You want them to be in one lead. So if you're writing multiple applications under that lead or for that family, or people connected with them, referrals, you're going to add them under that client in opt. Okay. Any questions on that? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
So if you need to find that application again for a referral from somebody, can you search the name?
Yes. Yeah. If you're looking for a client, and let's just see if there's one named Jason. Yep. So it'll pull up all of my Jasons here, and you can filter that if you know their last name or their phone number. You can filter it by that. Yes. Great question. Then you're going to, let's say it's this guy. I'm going to click on his name. Then down here, applications taken for that. Yeah. Great question, Sue.
Great. Thanks.
Yep. Let's do this. I'm going to go through, I'll do a phone script role play with Sue on just a basic mortgage protection. And it follows pretty much the best script. If you're not sure where to find that, you're going to go down here into, somebody's gonna have to help me. I don't know if it's training. Is it training?
Training scripts.
Training and training scripts. Yep. So you can download these scripts here. There's a mortgage protection one that uses new style selling. This is the best script for setting appointments as well. This is the real script for when you're actually doing the presentation. If you're doing more life leads and not mortgage protection, there are a couple of scripts here that I would look at that have been done by 3 of our Symmetry agents, and a breakout was done back in August at conference to talk a little bit about that. So this is a new updated script for general life, but I'm going to go through mortgage protection really quick. And I keep it very, very simple. Okay. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Sue. This is Gabe. Just getting back with you and Alex on your mortgage at 123 Main Street and the mortgage protection letter you'd mailed back.
Yes.
Was that you or Alex that sent that back in?
Me.
You. Okay. All right. And you had put your age as 29 and his is 75. Is that correct?
Sure.
Okay, good deal. So I'm here in Alabama. My job is just to get back with every family to go over the information with them and see how we might be able to help out. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now, like a lot of my families, are you wanting to make sure that if you pass away or if you have a medical event or a disability that the mortgage is paid for or taken care of for the family?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now, were you looking for that information for both of you or just for one of you?
For me, for right now.
For you. Okay, good deal. So what I'm going to do is just ask you a couple questions because we do have 40 different carriers that provide the coverage. And so I'm going to go through, find the best option for you. And so let me ask a couple questions so I can get some things together. Okay.
Okay.
All right. You'd put your age as 29. What's your date of birth?
I have no idea.
1/1/2000. Right. Okay. Great. And then do you smoke?
No.
Okay, perfect. Do you have any medical conditions like heart, stroke, cancer, diabetes, or COPD?
No.
Okay, great. You're healthy. That's awesome. Any prescription medications the doctor has you on?
Just vitamin D.
Vitamin D. Okay, great. And then I know I'm not supposed to ask a lady, but what is your height and weight?
5'2" and 145.
Okay, perfect. Good deal. And do you have, Sue, any life insurance in place currently?
Just at work.
Just at work. Okay. And then did they explain to you that that's a benefit for working there, that if you leave or get let go, that it stays with them?
Yeah, but they thought I could convert it.
They thought you could. Okay. Sometimes companies will let you do that. Typically it's at a much higher cost, but that's good that you have that option. Okay. And so is that just kind of designed to leave some money behind for Alex and the family? Is that the plan for that insurance?
Yeah, mainly just to pay off some debts.
Okay, perfect. That's great. So you've got that, but nothing for the mortgage yet, right?
No.
Okay, good deal. And then what is your monthly income? Just kind of a rough average is fine.
About 8,000 a month.
About 8,000. Okay.
Between us two.
Between the two of you. Oh, okay. So do you know how much is yours and how much is Alex's?
Mine's about 2,500 and the rest is his.
And the rest is his. Okay, good deal. So 2,500 for you and about 5,500 for him.
Correct.
Okay. And then does Alex have any life insurance in place?
No, just at work.
Just at work. Same thing. Okay. Gotcha. But you're more worried about making sure you get the coverage right now? Is there any reason that you're looking more for you instead of both of you?
Well, just because I'm younger.
You're younger.
Might
Okay.
be
Yeah.
easier.
You're a ton younger. So yeah, that should be outlawed. I wouldn't say that to the client, but so okay. All right, perfect, Sue. Thanks so much for that information. What I'm gonna do, like I said, there's 40 carriers. I'm gonna go through, do some research to find the best option for you. And then what we'll do is we'll just get back on the phone the next day or two to go over those. And I'd love for Alex to be on with us if he's available. Okay.
Sure.
All right. So would later this evening or tomorrow be better for you guys in your schedule?
Probably tomorrow. He likes to go to bed early.
Okay, gotcha. All right. And so tomorrow would morning, afternoon, or evening be good?
Let's do some morning.
Morning, yeah. The old codger goes to bed early and gets up early. Okay. So I've got an 8:30, a 10 o'clock, or an 11 o'clock. Which one works best for y'all?
10.
10. Okay, good deal. So I'm going to go do the research, get everything together, and I'm going to set you and I up a reminder. It's going to text us and email us. I've got your phone number here, and then what's a good email address to send that to?
Sue.naughty@gmail.com.
Okay, cradlerobber@aol.com. All right, good deal. Perfect. All right, so Sue, tomorrow I'm going to set up a reminder for us, and I'll give you and Alex a call tomorrow at 10 o'clock, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, perfect. Okay. So other than having some fun, it's pretty simple. And I'll give you a few things that I did there that I do that are small, somewhat psychological. I think sometimes they help, sometimes they may not. For all of us, you walk on a car lot or you walk into a retail store and a salesperson or an associate comes up and asks you, "Can I help you?" What's your first response? No, I'm just looking.
Okay.
I'm
Just
good.
looking.
All of us, and especially men, even if we're looking for something and know we need help to find it, we still say that. It's a defense mechanism. You can call it sales resistance, or I call them barriers, right? There are barriers that everybody puts up, and we as the guide, navigator, salesperson, whatever you want to call it, our job is to quietly, subtly, invisibly start to pull all of those barriers away. Okay. there's a few things that really have a lot of resistance for people. One is your date of birth, 2 is your social security number, and 3 is your banking information. Okay. So I confirmed with Sue that I had her age as 29, and I said it 2 times. And I said it for the second time right before I asked for her date of birth. Instead of going in cold and asking her date of birth, I said, okay, Sue, I've got your age here as 29. What's your date of birth? So I'm saying I'm not a telemarketer. I have this information. I need to get the rest of the information. So I'm not coming in cold asking for that. Okay. That's why I did that. Again, it's very small, very subtle. The other thing I did when I'm talking about when I'm talking about insurance, life insurance, I'm asking about what the work insurance is, affirming it's great that you have that. And you want to do 2 things that seem kind of at odds with one another. You want to affirm the client and what they have and what they said, and create doubt at the same time. And that's hard to do sometimes. So I affirmed, great, you got work insurance, but created doubt as to if she would be able to keep it. Okay. I affirmed that she had some insurance, but I created doubt in the fact that she had it, but not for mortgage. So again, trying to do both of those at the same time. One of the other things that I do there is I do find a little bit of way to joke with a client or connect with a client. Not always trying to be funny, but connecting. Oh, great. You got 5 kids. We got 7 kids. That's awesome. I love kids. Again, pulling away those little bitty barriers, trying to remove those silently, quietly, and invisibly. And I'd keep it very simple. The other thing that I do that's psychological, I'm actually reading a book, Sue, it's Donald Miller's second book, How to Build Your Small Business, How to Grow Your Small Business. Chapters 2 and 3, you need to get it and read it. It is step by step, almost everything we do and we're taught here at Symmetry and NEPQ. So
Awesome.
I led Sue on a small little journey, because if I tell you to jump across the Grand Canyon, you're too scared to do it. But if I build a bridge from here to there, you might be able to take those little steps and you can see the bridge, so you have more courage to take the next step. So I did that very subtly. Sue, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. We asked some questions. All right. So the next step, I'm going to go do some research. Then we're going to get back together. So she's not walking into the dark of what am I walking into? Am I going to walk into an 1.5-hour timeshare pitch? Am I going to be stuck here forever? No. It's just small little steps so that she can see what the path is before we actually take the steps. I'll do that in the presentation as well. But those are small, tiny things that it takes some repetition, takes some time to really figure out how to do those things and how to do them well. Tawana, I think that is How to Grow Your Small Business. It's Donald Miller. He wrote several books, but the first one in this series was Business Made Simple. And then the last one I want to say is How to Grow Your Small Business. Yeah, How to Grow Your Small Business. And I actually recommended him as a potential conference speaker in the future. It's this one right here, this black cover there. Okay. All right. Any questions on phone script?
Yeah,
okay.
hey.
Dane asked, why am I asking about income? Good question. And every now and then, maybe 1 out of every 15 or 20 calls, 1 out of every 15 or 20 calls, the client goes, why do you need that? Most of the time, they don't. And I asked that last in the list of questions because it can be offensive, but I've gained a little bit of trust to then ask that question. So a couple reasons I asked that. One is it is a factor that there is a chart or factoring system that the insurance carriers do that you have to make a certain amount to have the certain amount of insurance. It's very rare that you would cross that line. The other is if somebody makes $1,500 a month, I'm probably not going to show them a $300 a month plan. That helps me know what type of products to then be able to show the client. If they have a $300,000 mortgage and they make $2,500 a month, it tells me I probably need to show her $300,000, $200,000, and $100,000. because she may see the 300,000 and go, I can't afford that, but she wants the insurance. And I've only given her the option of saying yes or no. So I'm going to show her a lower amount, and then help her during the presentation see why that lower amount might actually be what she needs. But that's why I ask for the income there. So I know how to tailor the presentation.
It's affordability and need. And I do the same thing, because when you pull up some of those rates, you go, I didn't. I mean, when I just think about even a mortgage payment on a $300,000 house, sometimes you can pull up a rate that's pretty darn close, or not close, but 25%.
Yep.
Of a mortgage payment for the insurance.
That's right.
Which isn't going to be a big sale, which is not going to work.
Not going to work. That's why I asked that, so I know how to tailor the product and presentation.
Well, we're actually being reprogrammed, because we was taught the opposite way.
Oh yeah, what were you were told to do it different?
Yes, so we can pull the budget out of them. So
gotcha.
It's totally different.
Okay, and I think always work. I think Sue and I one time probably were taught that way just a little bit, maybe. But I do think this is better, because again, we don't want to be across the table from our client. We want to be side by side with them, showing them the options, showing them the path. If we're across the table, well, the table is a barrier. We're in a sales position, which is a barrier. But if we're side by side, we're saying, you know what? And I even tell clients, I don't think the $300,000 option really makes sense for you. It's your family. I really, if it were my family, I really think the 100,000 is more of what might be the best in this situation. So that's why I do it that way, Tawana. But that's great. I'm glad you brought that up, because that is a difference in style and approach.
That's how I used to do it.
There you go. There you go. Atta girl. I like it. Anything else on the phone script?
Hey, I just wanted to add one thing.
Yeah.
About the books. If you have a library card for your public library, app called Libby, that you can find a lot of those books for free. Just just Google it and research it a little bit.
Perfect. Okay. So if you don't know how to get all that information from a client, I have on my page under resources this client qualification form. I have tweaked it a little bit. And these are all the questions I generally ask. I don't use this form really anymore because it's just ingrained in me. I didn't cover one of the things that I do have at the bottom, the investment piece. And I don't always ask that to every client, but are you contributing to savings? Is there anything else that would pass over to your family if you passed away? So instead of saying, hey, do you have a 401k? Because I want to move it. Is there anything else that would pass over to your family? So I did use this with a guy yesterday. We were talking about, at his age, at 40 or 35, he really needs to have about 10 times worth his income in assets, in insurance, investments, or liquid assets. And that was news to him, which surprised me, but that was news to him. So I said, anything like a 401k, mutual fund, stocks and bonds. And he was like, I don't have any of that. I'm like, okay. But if you do have a client that does have those things, it does open the door to maybe have more conversations about advanced markets or annuities. So you can ask that question in that way too. The safest, easiest way is there anything else that would pass over to your family when you pass away? Well, and they may say, what do you mean? I'm like, cars, houses, 401k, investments. And some clients will tell you and some won't. And if they don't push it. So it's okay. You earn that trust later, not right there in that moment. Okay. All right. So then let's go to, so that's the phone script. I showed you how to do the underwriting. If there are any questions, I'm going to go to the presentation part and show you how I build my presentation. I don't do Zoom. You can, it's perfectly fine. I do 99.5% of my meetings through phone call. And I use a tool that I'll show you in a minute that helps the client. But I don't do Zoom. You can do Zoom perfectly fine. But I still put a presentation together, even though I'm doing it over the phone. This is that telesales presentation you can download. I'll pull up and I'll show you my version of it. So let me pull up a family here. This is the template that I have. I've condensed the main one and I've condensed it down to a little bit. So this first page has all of my information on there. I really highlight my national producer number at the bottom there. This is our role and purpose, 40 insurance carriers. My job's to help you navigate. I'll do a mock presentation in a second. Picture my family, again, pulling down barriers, building trust, creating a relationship. If it's just you and your dog, you and a child, find something, some way to relate to your client and build those relationships. What we do, so it opens the doors for more opportunities, kids policies, accidental, retirement. I bring back up what their concerns are. Sue is concerned really about Alex, making sure he was covered if she passed away because she's young and he's really old. And then I talk about the different types of plans, tell them it's just an online application, and I'm going to show them a couple of different plan types. Okay. So let's go through a mock presentation. Let me find a decent one that I did so I can show you guys a couple of options. Let me find it. Okay. Yeah, let's go through. Let me go through this one. Let me change this. I realized there was a small little error in that. Let me change this and we'll go through this one. Hold on just a second. Let me update this first. Sue, I'm going to use you again for the mock. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And I'm going to do I'm going to use something called Crank Wheel to show you exactly how I let the client see everything. When I do a phone presentation, I don't sit on one side of the phone and the client on the other side of the phone. I send them something that they can actually view. Now, you can text this or email this to them for them to have pulled up while you're having your call. I wouldn't do that. I would utilize this software I'm going to show you here because it lets the client be able to see while you're talking to them at the same time. I wish I had my two screens. I don't. And I know this is getting a little bit crowded, but hold on just a second here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to call Sue back. Hey, Sue, it's Gabe. Is now still a good time for you and Alex for our call? And
Yes.
she's going to say, yes, it is. All right, perfect. So I've gone through and looked up a couple of options for us, but I want you to be able to see them while we talk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a text message, and that text message is going to have a link that will allow you to be able to see my screen. Now, you don't have to worry about being on video or anything like that. It's not like Zoom. I'm just going to show you my screen, and that way you can see it. It'll make it easier while we talk through it together. Okay?
Okay.
All right. And then, so I'm going to go here and I'm going to crop it to where all she can see is the actual presentation, not my whole screen. Okay. Sue, give me your phone number.
256-337-8075.
Okay. All right. The text is on its way. And you'll get the text. It'll say view my presentation. There we go.
Okay.
All right. And you'll see a blue screen. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody see this over here? This is actually what the client sees. I would keep that up so that you can see that where you know what they're looking at. Sue, will you pinch in, zoom in with your fingers and zoom out? There you go. Okay, so you see that? Everybody can see where she's zooming in and out. That way you can see exactly what the client sees. If you say, hey, move left a little bit, slide over to the left, because they may not be able to see the whole screen. All right, so you see Sue, all right, right there, Sue, that's got my information on it, phone number, email. The most important part, and I do highlight this a lot of times, is that national producer number. That just shows my registry with the Department of Insurance, okay? All right, so as I mentioned, you may have to go to the left. There you go. As I mentioned, I told you we have partnerships with 40 different carriers. So what I have done is gone through and done the research, like I said, to find the best plan for you and for Alex. And so my job, I'm not an insurance carrier, which means I don't set the prices, but I'm here to help navigate your family through the process to see if there's something that might be a fit for you. Okay. Now I'll stop there. Again, a little bit of psychology. We use that word might. Not, hey, I found you the plan. That puts up a wall, puts up a barrier. We're going to look at some things that might be a good fit for you. It's not putting them in a position where they feel like they have to make a choice. Again, walking alongside. So I've looked up a couple of options for us to see what might be a good fit for you and your family. Now, speaking of families, I love to show everybody a picture of my family. So that's us and our crew.
Oh,
Yep, you get that a lot. Or whoa, that's a basketball team or a baseball team. And so at that point, I do get a chance to share. Yeah, we've done foster care and adoption for a long time. And of course, you get the awe and it just starts to melt away. This guy's not a salesman. This guy's a real person. And that's the whole reason you show a picture like this. It's not manipulation, because you are a good person, a genuine person. You are wanting to help, but they don't know that. So this helps with that. Okay. And then we talked through that for a minute. All right. So we do a little bit of everything. And again, opening the door for more opportunities, life insurance, health, wealth, things like mortgage protection, term life, whole life, burial, final expense, retirement. So if you have any questions, Sue, about any of that, just let me know. I can help you with that information. Again, putting myself beside her. I'm going to get her information. I'm a guide, a navigator. I'm not selling her. I'm here with her. Okay. So I'm not there trying to dive into what's your 401k like. We can move that. We can save you some money. It's not any of the sales stuff. It's again, I'm the helper. Okay. So we talked the other day and you mentioned that you were really concerned. You have work insurance, which is great, but you mentioned that you didn't have anything for the mortgage and you were concerned that if something were to happen to you, maybe it would put Alex in a difficult position. Is that right?
yeah, he'd probably have to go to a nursing home or something.
Yeah, probably so. Okay. And so 2 things there. I'm going back and I'm referring to what she had mentioned as her concern, but I asked it in a way that I remember, but I don't fully, I do fully, but I want her to clarify it. Because if somebody is told something, it's going to somewhat bounce off of them. But if they have to formulate the thought to say it, they're owning it and it's creating emotion at the same time. Like when she says that, she's feeling that, and not just feeling that, she's envisioning Alex having to go to a nursing home. That has more impact and emotion and hold than anything I could ever tell her. She has to feel that and own that. So I'm not just revoicing her concerns. I'm asking her to kind of restate it at the same time. Okay. All right. Perfect. So I've got a couple of plans that I think might work out for us that we're going to talk through. There's 3 main types of plans. Okay. And so I do go ahead and stop here and I do explain these. I'm not going to pull them up for her to see them and then explain them, because if I pull that up, where are her eyes going to? Right. They're going straight to the price. And if she goes straight to the price, I've lost the opportunity to tell her why this is or is not a good plan for her. Like it's out the window. Now I can see that too. Did you see where this is gone now? I can say, Sue, did you lose the information? Did it go away? Okay.
The phone went to sleep.
Okay, perfect. So crank wheel allows you to be able to see what they see and whether or not they're still on the presentation. Okay. So going back here, Sue, we're going to have 3 different types of plans. And I'm going to explain the first 2 and I'll wait on the third probably. The first one is going to cover the mortgage if you pass away. So if you pass away any cause of death, it's going to pay that off for Alex. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. The second one does the same thing. However, it includes what are called living benefits. Now, remember earlier, if I tell her, then it's going to bounce off. But if she has to be a part of the process, she can maybe start to understand a little bit. So I'm going to ask, are you familiar with living benefits?
No.
Okay. So your basic life insurance policy, if you die, your family benefits. The mortgage protection plan includes living benefits, which means if you have a medical event and still live, then your family can get the benefit advanced to them early. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let's look through those. The first one's going to be the cheapest because it covers death. The second one's going to be a little more expensive because it has the extra benefits for people. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
Good news is nobody has to come stick you with a needle. There's no blood work, no urine. It's just a simple online application over the phone. All right. So let's look at option one. Let's just act like you're Natalie. Okay. So
Okay.
this is Sue. All right. Sue. So, the mortgage is $250,000. So this is the first option that's going to cover you in case of any cause of death. It's a 30-year plan that'll cover you during the entire length of the mortgage. And the monthly premium is $34.58. Any questions?
Okay.
Let me know if you have any questions on that one.
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right. And then I would have already gotten this. I forgot to say this earlier, but when I talk about kids, do you guys have any kids?
Yes.
Okay, great. How many you got?
3.
3. Perfect. Are they all still at home or some grown?
2 of his grown kids and 1 of ours is little.
Little. Okay, great. So do you remember the second option that I said it includes living benefits?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It also includes orphan benefits. And so let's look at that one. All right. So this is the second option that has the living benefits. Those are things like chronic, critical, and terminal, heart attack, stroke, cancer. And if your kids are orphaned, then they're also going to receive $900 a month every month until they turn 18. Plus they'll receive college scholarships every year between $1,500 and $6,000 a year.
Okay.
A lot of my families really like this plan because it covers the whole family. All right. And for that one to cover the whole mortgage, for the 30-year plan is $87.28. Do you want to talk through that? Have any other questions about that plan?
Yeah, I guess it just stops at 30 years, right?
It does. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Is that something that you were okay with, or did you want something that might last longer?
No, I'm okay with that for now.
Okay. All right. Did you want to go back and go back through option 1 and 2 a little bit and have some questions about either one of those?
So this is almost double the amount, but
yeah,
well, it is double the amount.
Yeah.
Plus. So what comes with this? Anything? Does anything come with this one? Does anything come with this one?
This one covers you in case of death. Now, I don't put terminal illness on there. It does have terminal illness. This one covers you if you pass away any cause of death. Some families like this one because it is the cheaper option, but it does cover death.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And I like to show both. That way, you guys can decide what you think really fits your need and what makes the most sense for your family. Some families like option 1 because of the cost, and some families like option 2 because of the extra benefits.
Yeah, I'm leaning more towards 2.
Okay, gotcha. There is a third option. Do you want to talk about that one, or are you pretty settled on option 2? Okay.
Sure.
So you asked the question about, does it stop at 30 years? So option 3 is going to do everything that option 2 does, except instead of stopping at 30 years, it's going to continue on for as long as you want it to. And what it also does is part of your monthly premium goes to basically like an investment. It's going to grow and accumulate cash over time that's tax-free. So that one does have more benefits, which obviously means it has a little bit more cost associated with it as well. But let's look at that one. So this one covers any cause of death plus the same living benefits, same $250,000 benefit, but instead of 30 years, and I highlight these for them because I want them to look there, instead of stopping at 30 years, it's permanent and it's flexible. If You want to keep it forever, you can, or after 20 years, you want to cancel it, you can as well. The premium is a little bit higher, but notice at the bottom, as I mentioned earlier, it's going to accumulate and grow cash over time. So after 20 years, you're going to have about 29,000, 25 years, 44,000, and 30 years, 64,000. Now you can borrow against that if you have an HVAC go out or want to put a down payment on a car or buy a car. Some families like this one because they do like having the investment piece within their plan. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
You have
I
any
like that
questions on that one?
Mhm. Yeah, that's
Okay.
great.
All right. Do you want to go back and kind of discuss the difference between option 2 and 3, or do you have any questions about either
I
one?
think I've got it. I mean, can I lose my money?
No, great question. On this one, it's not like the 401k or the stock market. This is you see the I right here, this index, that's what stands for index. What that means is you're guaranteed not to lose any money. The investment will continue to grow or stay the same if the market drops.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Did you have, did one of those seem to be more of a fit than another one?
Yeah, I like option 3.
You
I
like
mean,
option 3?
I've got a while to go, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. Being 29, the other would run out at 59. And so, yeah, you're right. Some families do like this one because they know it can last them forever and it has the extra investment piece added to it. So, okay. So the next step would just be, like I said, just to submit an application. It's a pretty simple process. I log into the carrier site as the agent. We just go through and answer the questions, just a few questions like driver's license, the state you were born in, who your doctor is, a few extra medical questions, and then we'll submit the application. I'll send it to you via email for signature. Once you sign yours, it'll come back to me for signature, and then we'll send it off to Mutual of Omaha, and within a couple of days, we get back a final approval. Does that make sense?
Okay, all right.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead, if she says it like that, I'll just go ahead and I'll pull up Mutual of Omaha and I'll tell her, some of my families like to stay on and watch me log in and go through the application process. You're welcome to do that. You don't have to. You can close the window as we go through it. That's completely up to you. Okay.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
Yeah. All right. So that's how I do that process. Let me share a little bit about what happens if she says, you know what, Alex and I need to talk about it a little bit more. Can you send this to us? So I do try to push a little. I'm not real pushy. I do try to push a little. But if they get to that point, I say, sure, not a problem. What most of my families do, because we think of ourselves as leaders, right? But we're not. We're all followers mostly, and everybody wants to do what everybody else is doing. So not a problem. Most of my families who want me to send this to them, they're gonna take a little bit of time. They're gonna look at it for a day or two, and then we're just gonna get back together and go through any other questions that you have. And so I'll just go ahead and set a follow-up appointment, and just like I would a regular appointment. And I'll kind of fill them out. Today is Friday. I'll say, okay, perfect. You guys want to plan to get back together Monday or Tuesday to talk over your questions again? And they may say, yeah, let's do Tuesday. Great. And same thing with an appointment. You want to do morning, afternoon, or evening? And I'll say, perfect. Tuesday at 7:00 in the evening. I'll set us up another reminder, send out a text and email. If you guys have any questions between now and then, you got my number, just call me or text me. Okay. 80% of my follow-up appointments show back up, even if it's to tell me they don't want it or to ask more questions and set another one. Some agents don't like doing follow-up appointments. And if you're good at closing right then, go for it. No reason to extend it. But if you feel like you've pushed enough, and if you push any more, they're going to disappear, it's okay, in my opinion, to set a follow-up appointment. Because again, you're positioning yourself beside them, not forcing them into a decision. Okay. Any questions on that?
Looks like Deborah may have one.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you going to finish this out with her now the way you would normally proceed, or you just, at this point, would you ask her when she wants to have it start?
No, if I feel, a lot of my stuff is just kind of by feel. If I feel like she's a little bit apprehensive, then I'll go ahead and say that. Great. What we'll do is put in the application. The carrier is going to let you choose whatever day you want this to start between now and the next couple weeks. And so I'll give her an option. You know, a lot of times we're guided or indoctrinated in ways we don't think we are, and we're not trying to manipulate, we're trying to help. So today's the 22nd. I will probably say, you know, a lot of my families want to do a Friday, or they like to do the first of the month. So I'm not waiting till October 21st. I'm not trying not to let them wait 30 days.
Right.
But I am kind of giving her kind of like morning, afternoon, or evening. A lot of my families like a Friday or the first of the month. Now, if it's the 7th of the month, I'll say a lot of my families like to do the middle of the month. You know, the 15th is a popular day. And they go, yeah, 15th works, you know. So if they're not really apprehensive, I'll wait till we get to that point in the application and I'll ask them. So a lot of my families like this to start today. Is that what you want to do? Well, can we have a couple weeks? Yeah, not a problem. We can start it next Friday if that works better for you.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I'll just go through, I'll just go through the application.
Okay.
Yep.
So she looks like she's ready.
She's ready. And when I get to the banking information, I just go right into it because I feel like we've gotten that far. It's the last page. Sometimes you get, you know, hesitancy, but we'll get to that point and say, okay, perfect. The carriers typically, you know, I'll ask them this. I'll say, do you want this to be drafted out of a checking account or savings account? Instead of jumping right into the routing account number. Again, not yes or no, option 1 or option 2. Which one do you prefer? And you might get the, well, can't they do it out of a debit card or credit card? I'll say, no, they typically don't do that. And the reason is your numbers change, your routing, your expiration date changes. And then what happens is you forget and the policy will lapse and you don't want that. So that's why they do checking and savings. To try to push away, they're trying to get into your bank account.
Gotcha.
It's really for the client's protection, not to get into your bank account.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And then that site, you can find it on my team site again under resources. It's Crankwheel. They used to have a free version. I think now it's $29 a month. But I promise you it's worth every penny. Could you imagine me trying to explain those 3 options over the phone and Sue trying to retain all that information? There's no way possible. I've set her up to say, let me think about it, because she doesn't know what to think because I just paralyzed her.
I'm
Right,
still
say what
using
we
the free option, just FYI.
Say it again.
I'm still using the free option.
So they may have a free version. I thought they changed to 29.
Probably
Which-
get a little bit more bells and whistles with the 29. And I
You
may
would.
update it.
Okay. Let's see.
Maybe if you had it before they took it away.
Nope. It says you can start a free trial and it reverts to the individual free if not paid at the end of the trial. So it actually still is free. So yeah, you can get it for free. I would 100% include that in your business, especially if you're doing over the phone. 100%. I try not to do a presentation without it. Because if they can see it.
Crankwheel?
Crankwheel.
Okay.
I wonder what the difference is between what she has as free and what you're paying for.
So here's a list. If you go to their pricing page, it'll show you the things that you get. The free version works. I used it for a while. I was fortunate enough. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. I was fortunate enough to be able to catch it on sale for a lifetime. So this AppSumo, it's kind of like a Walmart for software. If you go to AppSumo and type in Crankwheel, it'll show you they have a lifetime option for $59, but they don't always have it available.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, click there and put your email in and it'll notify you the next time the lifetime deal is available.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But again, I would not, if it were me starting out, I would never do a presentation without Crankwheel if I could. Okay.
Cool.
All right. And then, so if I'm doing an older person and an IUL doesn't make sense, I'm not showing it. You know, I'm showing option 1 and option 2. but I'm always showing option 1 and option 2. If they're under 60, I'm showing SBLI or LGA with no living benefits. I'm showing living benefits. If they're older, like American Amicable or Americo. If they're middle age, I'm showing Foresters because the extra kids benefits is the second option. And then the third is an IUL. I'm showing either 2 or 3. I'm never showing more than 3, and I'm never showing 1 by itself. Even if
Gotcha.
they're 62 years old and I can't give them SBLI, I'm going to show them American Amicable, Term Made Simple for less benefits, and Foresters or Americo with more benefits.
Okay.
Because if I just show them 1, their choice is yes or no. If I show them 2, the option becomes do we want 1 or do we want 2? Now, they may still say no, of course, but you've moved that back off the table a little bit. Okay. All right. What questions do you guys have from all that?
Gabe, I got to cut out. I've got an appointment at 3.
Sounds good.
Where will I find the video on your page? said-
I'll post it in our band group.
All right. All right.
I'll
Thanks
post the
for.
link.
All right.
Yep.
Bye.
Okay. All right. Any other questions on presentation, Crankwheel?
Those slides,
Yes.
do you have them on your Ross agency?
Yep, they are under resources, the telesales
Okay.
presentation.
And then I liked how you had saved them, you know, like Motti family, Gillikin family, stuff like that, so that you can find it again on your files.
And that way, if they do ask me to email it to them, I've got it saved and I can just email it to them. Yeah. Doug, what question do you have?
No, she asked the same question I was
Okay.
going to ask.
Right.
What is it? Is this to edit this on the? Let's see
Yeah,
here.
you can
Maybe
edit it. You should be able to edit it using PowerPoint.
Okay.
It's been a while since I've downloaded it. You can find all of this in HQ. I just put it on my site here so that it's quick and easy to find. But you should be able to find all of this in HQ.
And I heard another leader say that he adds all of his state licenses. Do you do that? I mean, he doesn't add all of them to view, but deletes the ones he doesn't need for that presentation. Or you
I just
go with
do
the
my national producer
number.
Just shows my
Okay.
registry with the Department of Insurance. I just keep it simple.
Okay.
You can. It's not a bad idea to, if you only do Indiana, it's not bad to put your Indiana license number. But because I have 36 states, I just do my national. Nobody ever questions it. It just shows legitimacy. If they want to know more, in 5 years, I probably sent my actual license to somebody 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah, they usually don't care if you've given them enough credibility.
It's a family. That's what it is.
It's the family. Okay. Any other questions on all that? Okay. All right. What else? What have I not talked about that you're like, hey, want to know this. You've not covered this in the calls we've had. Anything that I can help you with?
One more. Do you ask for their emergency response system, like the family, if something happened, who would be contacted so you can possibly have a referral?
Great question. So it's called ASR, after sales referrals. That is the weakest part of my business. I am absolutely terrible at that. Awful at it. I just had a call with another team this morning that I'm training. That's what we talked about for about 20 minutes of getting better. The number one question to ask, the easiest question to ask is, hey, Sue, I really enjoyed getting to help and meet you and Alex. Do you know anybody else that might benefit from a call like this? Just real
Not
simple.
right now, but if I think of anybody, I'll let you know.
Okay, perfect. What I'm going to do, I'm going to text you over my digital business card. Just feel free to keep it, save it, share it with anybody you want. Okay.
Are you using the hi, hello to text them over, or are you using the
Yes.
something
Yeah.
else?
Hi, hello.
Okay.
Let me share that too.
Well, I know Switchboard has one. But I didn't know if
Switchboard
you were
has one.
using-
I use this one. Hi, hello. I pay $4 a month. And then this is what it looks like. If I can find, I got too many things in the way. I have it saved in a note that I just copy and paste. So I send them that, and that's what they're going to see. is that information right there. And it has links. They can click on certain things. So that's what I do. It's $4 a month. I think there's a free version, but yeah, I send them that.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I've got to get better at that, Deborah. But that's the question. Anybody else you know might benefit from a conversation like this? That's pretty neutral. That's not very difficult. I have to get better at doing that. But yeah, if you just get one sale a month off of that, I mean, it's a free $1,000. Yeah. So.
And the training on that is recorded on the Vimeo. I haven't watched it yet, but I want to.
Is it on Griff's?
It is on Griff's.
Okay. All right. Let me share this again then. If you'll go to our team page and you go to training, this Vimeo page right here, this is our larger master agency. This is his, kind of like YouTube. This is his page where he records and saves certain meetings. So you should be able to find some of this here.
It says Jesse.
It was right here, Jesse Bachrock, yeah, on August 25th. This is the call that Ashton has with Jesse, who's good at doing referrals. So thanks, Sue, for mentioning that. But you can find that on my team page. Okay. All right. Anything else that I haven't covered that you want me to cover here in the group? Okay. All right, very good. If you guys need help, reach out individually. Elisha's team, I'm still working to try to get everything switched over, clarification on that. We can have more conversation next week there too. Doug?
Good.
Oh, you unmuted. I didn't know. Okay,
No,
perfect.
good.
All right. Well, you guys have a good one and reach out if you need help. Have a great weekend.
See you guys.
Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
You have a prosperous.
Thanks so much, Chris.
Right.
Thanks,
Bye,
Deb.
everyone.
Have a good one, guys.
Right, bye.